good as a box cutter. It doesn't cut boxes. It's almost like paying for Wi-Fi that is slow or doesn't work. It is 4.49 inches, 114 millimeters. All right, where's that? Yeah, 4.5. 10 inches. Now that's what a real 10 inches looks like. Ladies, you see that? This is the first thing we gotta figure out. We can put this inside the trailer. We know how high it is. Now, mind you, I gotta pull 2 cars into the trailer. So that means this has to be low enough that, let's say the Camaro is first in line, so that the winch rope will be able to go underneath my car and pull another vehicle in. And I'm gonna put 2 or 3 E-track, little E-track rings onto it, so that I can set those in the floor so the rope will stay down low so it doesn't get caught up underneath another vehicle that's ahead of it. So just a couple things you gotta keep in mind when you're doing this. This is my template that I gotta make a steel plate, because this is I have to elevate this, because once I figure out the height of this thing, the guide, this will determine the height that this has to be in the front structure of the trailer. 5 inches. So I bought this a year ago. You know, brushless motor, Milwaukee M12, very easy. And I'm like, I never even took it out of the box until tonight. Perfect for this kind of surgery. It cuts through this like butter. This is what's called laying down on the job. Now it lights up this whole plate, which is really awesome. I cut outside the line because I want the fair lead to have, I want it to not touch this. And I got 2 of these. So one goes here, the other one goes in there. We'll paint this and put some caulk and seal all that wood so it doesn't get rotted. But that's the way it's gonna go. So we'll have one of these on the inside, one of them on the inside. This was a cable access hole so you could charge stuff while it was in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually put an actual panel here where you can open it up and have a plug-in. But right now, this is the first stage of getting the pass-through, and that's gonna be perfect. So the cable that goes through here won't touch anything that's inside. All right, so here's what we did. We got the Badland fair lead here on the outside of the trailer. We've got another one on the inside of the trailer. We cut the opening larger than this because we're mounting this winch outside here. The winch took this fair lead mount, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the winch on here. Now we know that the winch is in a perfect alignment with the opening here, and now we've got it set at a little under 4 inches so that when the rope is going through here, you're loading 2 cars, the rope has to be able to pass underneath the first car to reach to the second car to winch it up. We're gonna use the high strength E-track little rings, retainer rings, and I'm gonna thread the 3 of them onto the synthetic rope so that we can lock them in place, so when the car's coming up, it doesn't gouge or cut or chafe underneath the first car. So the nice thing about this trailer, one of the greatest benefits of this trailer, is it's got a full center E-track, because it's designed to be able to carry 2 cars or 8 motorcycles or 2 side-by-sides and be able to run a rope right down the center. But nobody's ever put a winch in this thing before. So we're gonna pop the winch on here, then I'm gonna make some idea of where I want my beams to go across. All of the electrical on the trailer has to be redone. This is just Mickey Mouse stuff, so I'm gonna put a real battery box and a real fuse box and a circuit breaker like I do on a boat. I'm gonna set it all up like I would on a boat. This is just going through the wall with 2 3/4 inch sheets of plywood. Now that's not strong enough to hold this to pull a car, so we gotta reinforce this into the major frame rail, which is right there. Not gonna be difficult at all to do. That'll be just like that. I can have a battery here and a battery here. Put a bar across here, put my 2 battery boxes right here. Now everything is above this. It also means that water and crap that comes in from underneath the trailer isn't getting into my battery box. Like, this is a complete mess. Both my cables here, this would be my positive, this could be my negative. This one also doubles up and it goes to this battery. This one here goes out of here to my switch. This also comes out of here and goes to that. All right, so what we have here is, this is the only access hole you have to the inside of the trailer, to the front areas. This is all blocked off by the panel. The original battery box is down here. I mean, you have to reach over and try and get a battery unbolted and everything from down there. If you're on the side of the road trying to fix something, that's gonna be difficult to do. So I'm gonna build 2 supports, 2x2 steel supports, weld those in right here. And I'm gonna create a box mount for 1 battery here, 1 battery here. I'll have 2 bus bars right here, a positive and a negative. This way, the little switch here for this, that is power on all the time, or power on off switch for the winch, will come off of this battery. So this battery and this battery, being the left and right batteries, will share power going to this switch. That way the winch has 2 batteries to pull from. Then I'll have power coming off the truck will also come in here to charge both batteries. This will go to the truck. And that way I'll have power charging all the time that it's plugged in. When we get to a place where I'm going to, this way when I end up putting a solar panel system in it, I'll have all of this space here to work with to mount everything and make it work. So I copied this angle here on the chop saw and mimicked that. This is 20 degrees. So I cut it straight on one side. All right, so what we're doing is we measured the bottom of the battery box. This part right here, it's reinforced. So this is 8-inch spread here. So we put these plates on here, and I'm just gonna tack these in place. And I'll put a little weld on the bottom. And then that way the battery box will mount on here. Now the reason I didn't put a big flat tray in here is if this ever fails, I have to be able to take this bar out and remove this jack out from underneath the trailer. So the last thing I want to do is not have access to get in here. So I've made this as modular as I possibly can. And I'm just going to tack these plates in here. We'll drill 2 holes in the bottom of the boxes, bolt these to these plates right here, and that'll hold the battery boxes.
They just got really bad. Oh my. What you doing?
Mixing up the JB weld. So this is gonna go in the hole. See, there's wood between the outer aluminum skin and the inside skin. And this is a great way of weatherproofing this because it's exposed to the elements. So by putting this on this skin here, the Fairlead, if it could possibly touch it, this makes it so the wood is no longer porous and it won't accept any water. But if the rope catches this, this is going to build up a barrier right here so the rope doesn't chafe on it. All right, the Badland winch instructions come with a single battery switch. Now this is a decent switch, it really is. We use these in marine use all the time. But I'm using a 2 battery system because I'm gonna have a lot more eventually powered. Right now my primary focus is just getting the winch running. So to do that with 2 batteries, I'm using a Marine Perco switch, which is rated for 500 amps. Actually, this is called Hearst. Perco is a brand, but it'll allow me to switch from 1, 2, or both at the same time. If I'm doing a lot of winching, it's good to have 2 batteries. So I'm making my own cables. I bought the ends. I have a special crimping tool. It's a marine style crimping tool with marine epoxy ends. So I'm making them all custom length to fit this. And then when it's all said and done, I'll have this mounted right here. So all I gotta do is raise the little thing, switch to which one I want, and get the wire coming from the truck. So these are charging anytime that they're plugged into the truck. Awesome. Terminal ends that were automotive grade garbage. So I took this busted wire and the other busted wire, crimped them, and since they both go to positive on the battery, even though this is black, connected it to a 10 gauge wire. All right, it's taken a while, a lot of stormy weather, it's cold, my hands don't work right now, but let me explain to you what we've done. We've got the Harbor Freight Badland Apex 12,000 pound winch, 2 brand new interstate batteries up here, Group 27s. Got a Cole Hersey switch, a no-code Genius. Now I can charge battery 1 or battery 2 or turn this off automatically right there. I can go right to battery 2, charge that one, or both. And this automatically sets it up and charges it the way it needs to be charged. I've got the switch here. This switch here turns the interior lights off. This switch here turns the running lights on. So if I have it parked for a long duration, I'm not running off my truck battery. I'm running off the batteries on board. I've left the wire at full spool here in the ground wire because I plan on rewiring the entire thing. But I wired this the way I wanted it. And that way I can wire a real bus bar up here, a real power connection over here. I'm gonna have solar coming into it, so I have solar charging on the batteries full time. This power comes down here and it's hooked up to the extension cord. We'll put the tops on the boxes and we'll be good to go. I added a lot of structural in the front end, which will tighten up the front end. We're gonna put the flashing back on it, the aluminum that was on it. I got stainless fasteners for everything. It's nice, it's gonna be nice. Part of the shelf that I put in for the batteries, that rack, we ran from this cross member here to the cross member here, a 2-inch angle. This is X-Track, and it allows you to put the fasteners in either vertical or horizontal You can get this at Tractor Supply. It's 30 bucks a stick, and it's 60 inches across. So that's actually perfect fit for the battery tray. So the bottom of that is tied right into the battery tray structurally to the whole front of this, welded in. I put the Badlands winch right there on the bottom as low as I possibly could, because the cars that I bring into the trailer are mostly low cars, performance vehicles. And you'll see that the center track here has this floater hook, and I have another one back over here. And what this does is, if I already have winched one car in to the trailer, if I had this attached to the bumper of, say, my Camaro, which is right here, it would pull the strap and drag it along the bottom of the front car. So now, when I winch it in, it doesn't matter what angle I have it at, the rope won't touch the car that's in front. And that's just the difference between doing things and doing it right. All right, last day working on this, at least for a little bit. We now have all the electrical is in. I've got my power cord plugged in, so it's charging. You can see it's charging. We've been running all the lights on the trailer inside and out. So the batteries are about 75%. Again, we still have our switches up here. We put a closeout panel on the bottom so rainwater doesn't splash off the truck inside and get the winch really wet and dirty. We got the back panels all cleaned up. We put the top X-Track inside, installed that, got that done. So we've got bottom and top X-Track inside the trailer. Next steps on this will be updating the electrical. I'm looking at this. I might make a little emergency box right here, put a fire extinguisher or something in this. But yeah, we're gonna close it out, put the front panel back on it, seal everything up, and then I'm hitting the road. I got a Corvette and a GTR to pick up, and then the Ferrari Testarossa that's in a really, really amazing color. It's very, very rare. So I'm really looking forward to that. But couldn't have done this without Austin's help. And he's going to work on this video and knock it out for it. Got questions about how this Badlands winch goes in? Man, this was an easy install. Once that mount was made up, very, very easy. I have to say, with the mount and the extra thick plates that I put on it, you can upgrade. It comes with an 8.8 metric strength bolt. I put a 10.8 bolt in it. It's a little stronger, and I made it a little longer, so it's got a washer and a flange on the bottom. So we're good to go. We're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to hit the road. Y'all have a blessed day.